Lucky day. So, Spy Kids, 4D aromascope, all the time in the world. Yeah, when this came out, they had a 4D aromascope thing. I remember because I am a janitor and I was cleaning the theaters when this came out. And I don't remember exactly how many, but there was a lot of them scratch and sniff cards that I had to throw away. Oy. So yes, they had the gimmick where you scratch, the number will pop up on the screen and you scratch it and sniff. And I can only imagine what that was like because there are multiple scenes where the baby poops its diaper. And I'm pretty sure he had to scratch and sniff the shit. So, yeah. So the story here, it's just more like a spin-off. Because the main Spy Kids, they're in it. Like, Carmen and Juni Cortez are in this. But they're side characters in this story. The story revolves around their cousin, Marissa. And she has recently retired from being a spy to have a baby with this guy, Joel McHale from Communities. And The Soup. That was on G4. You remember that? And so he has 2 children already. The girl that meets the world, and this dude who's never been in anything else. And you know what's gonna happen. Someone's gonna come along, some bad guy's gonna come along. She's gonna have to go back, unretire. And the kids are eventually gonna become Spy Kids. The dad, however, Mr. Soup Community Man, is a spy hunter, hunting down spies. One thing I'm confused about. He's hunting down spies, yet they publicly show on TV the OSS. So why is it so difficult for him to catch a spy? And when he finally catches a spy, you know what's going to happen. Of course, it's his wife and her family that are on the screen. Ricky Gervais plays the dog. Argonaut is the name of the dog. Who names their dog that? But it's a fun dog. I mean, Ricky Gervais is kind of funny. We have a villain named the Timekeeper. Timekeeper, and there's also another. There's TikTok, who's played by Jeremy Piven, and there's the Timekeeper, also played by Jeremy Piven. And the head of the OSS is named Danger Diamo, also played by Jeremy Piven, because Danger Diamo is the Timekeeper. I do like that there's the kind of twist. All the henchmen are actually different versions of Jeremy Piven that have gone back in time. See, the big scheme here is he's using the Armageddon device, of which his name is an anagram. Danger Diamo, Armageddon, it's an anagram. He's using it because many moons ago, he got frozen in time. By the time he got out, his dad was dead. So he didn't get to spend time with him. So he grew up and he decided to use this Armageddon device to go back in time so he can spend time with his father. Now Rebecca and Cecil, there's the 2 kids. Cecil tells him it doesn't matter, it's not going to change anything. And it doesn't. His dad still dies and he comes back all old and decrepit. And yeah, I do like the twist that TikTok and all the other henchmen are versions of him. I remember when I first watched this, I'm like, I saw TikTok coming because it's the same actor. I saw TikTok, but the rest of them, whoa, okay. But admittedly, this movie is basically an attempt by Rodriguez to reboot the Spy Kids franchise. And it didn't work because this movie was trashed. Now, were they right? Not necessarily. I mean, it's not total shit, but there is some problems with it, such as, once again, the villain. You realize that they don't actually defeat the villain in these movies? Yes, I know. Each film has two villains, technically. In the first one, you had Floop and you had Robert Patrick. Robert Patrick ends up being the main villain by the end of this. In the second one, you had Donegan, and there was Romero, who wasn't a villain though, but there was Donegan, and by the third film, he's back being on the side of the OSS. The third film, you had the toy maker, and by the end, he's made up, and he's kind of on their side. In Shark Boy and Lava Girl, the villain, Linus, whatever, he becomes friends with Max, and there's still electricity, but that's taken care of. And in this, Cecil talks to Danger Damo, the timekeeper, whatever. It's just him that and then he comes back and he says Cecil was right, and he ends up turning himself in. The other version doesn't, but still, there's no big fight really. Yeah, there's timekeeper and this and that, and then the dad shows up in the last second to save the day. And I remember when I first watched this, that was one of the most disappointing. Because it's like... Because what happens is, Carmen and Junie come back, and they come to help Marissa. And they get frozen, except for Junie, because Carmen threw his name tag, and that was what froze them. And then... So... Once he unfreezes them, he makes Carmen pick her nose, though. Once he unfreezes them, they also show Machete. There's a cameo from Machete. And that's cool and everything, but it doesn't do much. Anyway, so once he unfreezes them, Carmen then falls. They all fall into this thing, and then they get out, and there's a line I don't really care for, because they're like, how'd you get out of my time trap? And Junie's like, my quicksand time, whatever, with my bare hands. She's like, actually, my atomic lipstick. I'm like, I'd be like, bitch, shut up! I wanted to sound cool. And there's another line that made me cringe. They're like, she's like, stay away from my stepkids. And they're like, make that your kids. She goes, alright. And then they say, make that your spy kids. I'm like, okay, cool, drop the name, whatever. Then she says it. Stay away from my spy kids. I'm like, oh, so much cringe. So much cringe. No. Not need to say that. And the baby poops a diaper again. Yeah, so after they get, and the kids end up in trouble, the dog contacts the dad and says, you're their only hope. By the time he gets there, everything is done except for slapping the handcuffs on him. This one, I don't know. The time thing, of course, it's about time, and time is speeding up, so they're running out of time. And it's all about spending time with their father and all that. And then at the end, they're recruiting spy kids. Even the kids at home watching this. That's supposed to start up a whole new Spy Kids thing, because at the start of this, the Spy Kids apparently didn't recruit any more Spy Kids after Carmen, Junie, and Gary and Gertie, because one, you never saw anymore, except for the robot ones, which were the actual Spy Kids, by the way. And then, all of a sudden, I guess they grew up and they decided, we don't need to bring it anymore, but now they do. And this was supposed to, but this was shit on so much. And the thing that was shit on most was the humor. I've watched some reviews of this, and they've accused Rodriguez of thinking that kids are stupid. Treating kids like they're idiots, basically. Let me tell you something. Every kid is different. There are some kids who may not get the humor in this. They may be like, oh, this is stupid, I don't want to watch this. But there are other kids who will see a baby pooping their diaper, that being me, I would have been one of those kids, and laugh their ass off. Me and my siblings would be that If this came out when we grew up and we saw that, we'd be laughing. There are certain... My son would laugh at this pooping baby diaper thingy. He would laugh. It all depends on what you're like. You know? So, don't just... I know you're trying to defend all kids here, but it's not every kid that's going to be, offended with Rodriguez thinking they're stupid. He doesn't. He's just trying to throw out humor. But yes, this did not do so well, and so there was no more Spy Kids, in spite of the fact that they were talking about doing a fifth one and bringing it back full circle with bringing back Carmen and Junie Cortez. But it never happened. As it stands, though, this one is okay. I'm going to give it a 6 because it's decent. It's fine. None of these movies are terrible. None of them. But it gets a 6 from me. So what are your thoughts on Spy Kids? All the time in the world. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We got one more to go, baby. We Can Be Heroes. And that's going to be the next one I do. And then I'm done with this. And I got to do a ranking. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.